What are things you wish that you had a stage where you could tell people, for example?
Then?
Yeah, then. That maybe like were in you for a long time. And obviously now you're a living example of all those things. But I just want to give a voice because maybe there's somebody watching that maybe is in a similar situation to you.
Yeah.
Or maybe has their own challenge in some other capacity. And they're maybe not on the other side of the confidence spectrum yet. Maybe they're still dealing with some of the challenges you were and don't have anybody, and this interview might be their only medium, right?
Yeah.
So what would your advice be to them based upon things that like you could identify with them in terms of like feeling certain things that you couldn't express at that time? Like, hey, I'm a normal dude. Like, why are you looking at me weird? Why are you guys pointing at me weird?
Yeah.
Because you probably got a lot of that,
It's
right?
the power of reframing. Reframing changed my life. The meaning you attach behind situations.
Like Tony Robbins says, nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning we give it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so, like we were saying this whole interview, right? Humans, we put disempowering meanings behind anything, unless we reprogram our brain.
Why do you think that is?
Bro, we're primed. Look at the TV. Look at the news.
Yeah, bad
Everything's
news.
negative. Everything. Your parents are like complaining about the news, or they're watching the news, or they're complaining about the fact that they missed the turn on the GPS. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like we're in a very negative environment. And so it's the power of reframing. And so what I mean by that is like, remember the girls. Biggest suicidal trigger for me, right? For girls. And that was me putting a disempowering meaning, saying, okay, well, these girls don't mess with me because I'm disgusting, right? Disempowering meaning, right? My life changed when I realized that if a girl doesn't, you better listen to this is some fire. If a girl doesn't want to further a conversation with me, if a girl doesn't want to love in me, if a girl doesn't want to further a relationship with me because of my physical differences, well, then my physical differences is an authentic filter, and it's filtering out the girls that I don't want in my life anyway.
Exactly.
Dude, changed my life. Changed my whole entire life. Same thing with going in public. If you think people are staring at you, like when I was a young kid and I saw people staring at me, I get so pissed off. Like, why are you staring at me? Why are you staring at me? Now as an adult, I'm like, well, if I saw a unicorn on the side of the street, like I'd stare too. You know? Like
Yeah.
people, like that's what's just gonna happen. You know? Like they're either staring at like now like when people stare at me, I kind of laugh because I know in their mind I'm mind blowing them. Like their mind is blown. Like they've probably never seen anything like that, and they're like, what? I didn't know that was real. You know? Like
Yeah.
it's a funny, more empowering meaning that you attach behind it. And so that's what I'd say. You know, reframing things, and it's so important to realize, like Tony says, you know, that your problems turn into gifts once you learn from them. And it's just like everything in life, like everything that you think was negative, I promise you was a positive. It was happening for you and not to you. Like there's always one good piece of information that you can extract from that loss and turn into a W. And that's how I've been living my life. I mean, that's the secret to the sauce, is just like the power of reframing and realizing, like, you know, like there's always something good. Like this is meaningful. Like you may think it's negative, but let me put an empowering meaning behind it, and then it's a positive. But like it's just like our lens, bro.
Yeah.
The lens we look at life through.
The filter by which we see everything. Yeah.
Everything.
How about fitness? How has that impacted your thinking in your life?
Yeah, fitness. So, you know, people say, oh, you do the bodybuilding, you know, what's more important, the physical aspect or the, you know, the mental aspect? And just like people need to realize that we need to be well-balanced creatures. And so like, just think of how many people that are in business crushing it that are obese, right? They could be crushing it even more if they were putting the right fuels into the body. You know, if we view our bodies as a Ferrari and we're putting regular gas into a Ferrari, how is that Ferrari going to perform? Not like a Ferrari, right? And so if you're crushing it in fitness, well, that's great. You know, health is wealth. Health is most important. Like, let me get that straight. Like, you can have all the money in the world, and then you find out that you're going to die in 5 days, and none of that money is going to. Look at Steve Jobs. Didn't help him, right? And so you want to be well balanced. So if you have the health, right? If you're shredded, well, that's time to focus on business, and you know, so you have some money to enjoy your longevity of life.
That's right.
If you have the wealth, let's focus on the health, right? Because all that wealth, like, you don't want to be 50 and sick. You want to be 50 and like be retired or have all this financial freedom and be able to be healthy for the next 30 years of your life to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think we need to be well-rounded. And I also think that getting into the gym, whether you're not a fitness athlete or an addict or a bodybuilder, right? Just getting in the gym and moving, just doing cardio, doing something is going to make you feel better. It just makes you feel better. It makes you feel better about, you know, like, just look at the way that you are improving your operating system. Like, you know, you're putting the work in the gym that's only going to benefit you in your physical life and your business life. Like, everything's only going to get better as your health gets better. You know, your cognitive abilities, right? Like, it's just more clarity. And and I just, like I said, you see so many successful people that are not in shape. I'm like, dude, you could be like 10xing. You could be like blowing your stuff up if you had this part of your life in check too. Or like, just think of, all these, successful guys that may not be in shape. Like, when's the last time you can run around with your kid and play frisbee or golf with your kid? Like, you want to be able to enjoy your family.
That's right.
And enjoy your friends. And like, it sucks to see, like, that, me being no legs and one arm and being in the shape I am, and just seeing people like that are like obese and just in wheelchairs. I'm like, man, that could be totally different for you.
And they're loaded with excuses as to why they don't have time.
And I'm not poking. I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying, like, maybe they didn't have that unicorn in their life, or maybe they didn't have that perspective given to them, and that's why that's why, like, what I do, I feel like it's so important, is just because I want to get in front of as many people as I can and just share my perspective and share, like, my operating system to show them, like, dude, like, we're so lucky. Like, we're so lucky, like, to be in this human body, right? Like, also, the one thing that I've been on a kick on is, like, if every single human being, at least once a day, self-reflected on the thought that we are on a rock and it's floating around in the middle of this nothingness and we have no idea what it is, but we're in this human experience and we're in this human body, how lucky are we? Like our heart.
Yeah.
Like, you woke up one day, you had a heart. You woke up one day and you were living.
Yeah.
You didn't have to work for it.
Yeah, unbelievable. And then the cells all day long, and your immune system,
even
blood platelets.
like right now, we don't even feel the blood rushing through our ear right now.
All we focus on is words and eating and moving. Yeah, like.
Yeah, and the fact that, I didn't get enough Instagram likes, or this traffic sucks. I'm like, dude, at least you're alive. At least you could touch the steer. At least you could feel,
you're
experience.
Conscious.
At least you can experience.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: in traveling the world and speaking all over the world, what have you noticed are some of the biggest things that hold people back? Obviously, it's one thing to have perspective on what holds people back online, or if you're in one place, but the fact that you've got, like you said, you've got access, you've had a ticket to history because you've been in the trenches. What is it that holds most people back that you've seen from traveling all around the world and getting these questions from people nonstop?
It's themselves, bro. We all hold we all do it. We hold ourselves back, and we're crippled by our limiting thoughts, our limiting beliefs. And so, for example, when I spoke in China, I flew into a city called Mianyang, and 10,000 people showed up to hear me speak. And so there were a lot of them. They were mostly students, and they knew English, but they like crammed, like they study hard over in China. It's like from 7 in the morning to 9 at night, like 6-7 days a week. And so they were just in a really stressful time. They're about to take a big test. And after my speech, they were like, the counselors and everyone was like, dude, like, the campus was much more relaxed and like just like a cloud of uplifting, because like I said, it just takes that piercing of the perspective to realize, like, well, if this kid's doing all that, like, I can do that. Like, I can do this. I can take this test. If Nick cut his arm off to do wrestling, like, I can take this test.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it just takes that moment of, like, I'm gonna put my obstacles on this table, and you put your obstacles on this table, and then we're just gonna, like, see, like, how our lives really are, and like what's really hard in life. So, but like, traveling all around, I think it's two things. There's probably more things, right? But I think it's the limiting beliefs. I think it's ourselves, and I think it's our environment. Because
so
like,
true.
Even me, I was held back from my environment. In LA, I wasn't with the right roommate, and it was just this stagnant environment. And so I think a lot of people have a hard time releasing their friends, releasing like the wrong friends,
right?
The wrong people in their group, and even sometimes it's your family too, that are holding you back. And so I think it's not only us that are holding ourselves back, but like not being able to break away from the group that is keeping them there. Like elevating your circle. I think people, I myself, okay, that's something that I've struggled with, right? When I moved to Tampa, like, I had a hard time, like, stepping away from some of my friends. But the one thing I realized is that I have to love them from afar. Like, that was my solution for the accountability groups. And like, some people I'm just gonna have to love from afar. Like, they don't really benefit me too much,
right,
and not gonna help elevate me. They're not hustlers and they're not driven like I am, or how I wanna be. And so, like, I think it's the environment. I think it's key. I think it's not only like once you start realizing, like, destroying these limiting beliefs, but surrounding yourself with people that are not only going to love on you, but are going to push you when they know you need to be pushed.
Yeah,
I think that's key, because like, I couldn't do this on my own.
Yeah, no, totally.
I couldn't do any of this on my own.
No, absolutely.
If you guys enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because every week we bring you the very best in personal development content, interviews, and insight to help inspire you to take your life and your dreams and make them a reality. And also, if you want to know how to book dream guests the same way I have, you can check the link below for my top 3 secrets. So if you have a podcast or a show or whatever it is and you want to collaborate with them, if you click that link below, I'll give you those top 3 secrets to help you get in touch with anybody. And also, don't forget that The Passionate Few is available on media platforms as well. So you can subscribe to the podcast. And until next time, thank you for being one of the passionate few.